The East Long Meadow Public Library Board of Trustees meeting is called to order. And this is March 16th, and it is 6:12 p.m. I think we can take attendance first. Would somebody like to turn to the screen? And
Charlie Gray.
Diane Tiago.
Cindy McNaught.
David Boucher.
Sharon Bellanoy.
Art McGuire. We have the agenda, and I think it's appropriate to look at the meeting minutes. But first, I want to distribute a letter from Kathleen Goodchild,
Oh,
which I'll distribute, thanking us in the nature of her departure and retirement. I think we can review the minutes next.
Oh, that's very nice. I know we've already started to miss Kathy, and we'll miss her.
Yeah.
We'll miss her even more as time goes on, I'm sure.
she came to our first retiree lunch.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Well, I've heard people miss you also.
Yeah,
So,
wait, oh, thank you, Charlie.
but
Of course we do.
life goes on.
Thank you, Sharon.
You all have the minutes, yeah. Can I hear a motion to approve, or are we ready to?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes
I'll second that.
for February 10th, 2016 as submitted.
And I'll second that motion.
We ready to, anybody have any comments?
I heard the whole lot of fun was excellent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good day.
All those in favor of approval of the minutes?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Guests' opportunity to address the board. We don't have any guests visiting today. And we'll move directly to the director's report, which also needs a vote to accept.
Okay, building and maintenance, nothing to report. Library finances and budget. Let's see, I think that's all set for now. Library staffing and personnel, we have a young woman, Michaela Rochilla, we have hired as a full-time circ assistant. She's going to start this coming Monday, the 21st, and she is very qualified to do the job. She is an voracious reader, and she has currently working at Barnes & Noble, so she has a lot of front desk experience, interactions with customers. She's a lovely young woman, and we're very excited to have a full-time staff member back again, even though we miss Kathy.
Dad?
Huh?
Laura Palmer's granddaughter. Kathy.
Who's?
Laura Palmer's granddaughter's name is Kathy.
No, I said Kathy.
Oh,
I miss
Kathy.
Kathy.
Oh.
Because she's actually filling Kathy's
Oh,
spot.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Now, she's a circulation assistant, and it says in your notes that she's going to have her first day Monday, March 21st.
Yes, yep.
but that she'll graduate, and that she will graduate from Ithaca College in August.
Yes, she has one online course to finish.
Oh, okay,
But
so.
she's done, I mean,
So
she's home.
she's effectively
Yeah, oh, yeah.
done and she's here
Working,
full-time?
yes, oh,
Okay.
yes, yeah,
Well, Ithaca College, that's a good school.
It is a good
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
yeah. She's a real, we were very impressed with her. It was a really tough decision, I have to say. We had 31 applicants.
Wow.
We decided to interview 5, and that was hard to choose the 5, and of the 5, it was a really, really hard decision, so.
Wow.
A lot of
That's
good,
what I call a pool.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
Well, good. I look forward to meeting her at the appropriate time. I have not met her yet, so that'll be nice to have a
Mhm.
chance to look forward to that.
Mhm.
Let's see, public relations and programming. Friday, March 4th, we all, a few of us went over, Diane, Cindy, Laura Palmer, and I went to the legislative breakfast at West Springfield. We got to tour the beautiful West Springfield Library.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It was gorgeous. And we heard from a lot of our local representatives who really impressed upon us the need to contact our state reps to urge them to increase library funding. They put on a really convincing, interesting, fact-filled presentation. It was awesome, and it was really interesting.
It was good,
Yes.
and what was nice, or at least I thought was, there was questions from the audience,
Mhm.
by the representatives, because they wanted to know what happens, or
If
if
they don't.
the
get
libraries
money.
do not get
The adequate
the
funding.
adequate
Right.
funding, because
Mhm.
they didn't, I don't think that a lot of them understood.
No.
It's like you have to steal from Peter to pay Paul type of thing,
Mhm.
and something's gonna lose, at someplace along the line. So I really like that somebody asked
Mhm.
some questions.
Mhm.
And I thought the library people who spoke did a wonderful job of marketing what their needs are and what would happen if those needs weren't met.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
how actually it's so cost effective to do, it would actually reverse that.
Mhm.
It would actually cost more money and you'd lose services.
And how small the budget is for libraries
What
out
was
of
it,
the entire.
0.007?
0.007% of
Yep.
the
Of the
entire
total
state
state
budget
budget.
is
Yep.
what libraries
That's
get.
0.007. It was really.
Yeah. March 5th, we had, the Friends had their library, their hole-in-one mini golf fundraiser, and I'm not gonna talk about that, because I'm sure Diane's gonna
Oh, Diane.
tell
Just
us
have
all.
a couple of things.
Yeah, it was a nice day, it was successful, I came over and did my share of golfing, and.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did, yes, I did.
Were you the one who broke the window?
No. I didn't get a hole-in-one either.
No, okay.
Programming, we have lots of great, fun, informative programs. They're all available on our library website, eastlongmeadowlibrary.org. The children's website is elplkids.org. And you can now register for programs online from the website or from the monthly calendar, which is accessible from the website. And when you do register online, we have the ability to email you a reminder as the program draws near. So that's another nice thing. We also have another new program that we're introducing. It's email alerts. And if you sign up, give us your email, we will actually send you periodically, we're not gonna flood everybody's email constantly, but you will get an email from us about new programs, not monthly repeating programs, but new programs. And it's a great program. It's easy for the staff to use. It's a great way to reach out to the community. Other libraries are using it and have been very successful with it, and it has helped bring more people into programs. So that was one of the reasons we decided to give it a try. And so all you need to do is come into the library and give us your email. And we're going to have a link on the site very soon where you can just sign up right online.
Great.
And we promise we don't give your email to anybody for any reason.
Mhm.
You know, so. This past Saturday, the adults had a really great cookbook club, which is a lot of fun. People sign out the cookbook that they chose for that program. They all choose a recipe, they make it, they bring it in.
Why wasn't I told about
I
this?
don't know, Charlie, now you know. You have to bring something. though.
Oh,
You have to
gee.
bring something.
I was gonna be a,
Just get some butter.
I was gonna be a willing participant in the consumption part.
Pioneer on the frontiers of
Absol-
consumption is
Yeah.
Charlie.
Absolutely.
The official
That sounds terrific. You had a good turnout for that?
We did.
Cookbook
and,
club for adults?
We did, and the Reminder stopped by and
Oh, nice.
interviewed the people in the club, and so there should be an article in the Reminder coming up soon.
Great.
So, and we've had some really good programs. The adult coloring program, the evening one is going on. The room is filled, and we had another program last night, which was real popular, called Mindfulness, and I think honestly it has. I think it has to do with meditation and well-being, and it was, we had 25 people. It was very well attended. So, the children's room had a special Dr. Seuss PJ story time on March 2nd, which was Dr. Seuss's birthday. We had 34 people in attendance for Dr. Seuss stories, activities, and snacks. We also had a special guest and local resident, Betty McLeod, who made a quilt, which she donated along with 2 Dr. Seuss books. And I also want to give a big shout out to Samantha Cardoni, who is one of our children's library assistants, who did an awesome job organizing the whole event. It was it was just wonderful. And our Bruins Cradles to Crayons PJ Drive, which we did last year. Last year we asked people to donate pajamas for children up to ages, I think it was, I'm going to say 8 or 9. And last year we got 22 pajamas. This year we got 170.
Whoa.
So the children's staff did a great job publicizing it. It was in the local
That's
papers.
terrific.
It was on Channel 4. Channel 40 came over and interviewed us. They came the day we all decided to wear pajamas to promote the kickoff. And we wanted to say thank you to the whole community for
Wow.
supporting this program.
And who gets the pajamas, the Bruins?
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's through the Boston Bruins. They do this every year, and it's for children, needy families. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So it's a great program. I'm sure we'll do it next year.
Very good.
So the other side is the library wish list, which, I just want to give you a quick update. We have placed our order for 12 Chromebooks and a storage cart through the IT department. They're going to help us with this. They'll set them all up and get them ready to go and then bring them over. We hope to have them by late April, and just the other day Jenny Kinder and I sat down with a young man who we are trying to work out times for him to teach coding classes for
Good. Good.
tweens and teens. So
That's really cutting edge, because that's the big thing coming.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, so we're absolutely determined to get that going,
Mhm.
keep that going. And we have many, many other programs that we will use those Chromebooks for. This is just the beginning. I did get one estimate for the reupholstering the gray chairs. I think it's something we need to think about. Maybe look into some other options.
That's right.
The cleaning of the chairs that aren't damaged, I had Bruce Fenney recommended affordable carpet cleaning, and the gentleman came over And that estimate is actually not just for the 4 chairs. He would be cleaning 6 chairs, and I have his estimate here.
Is he the one running for
Bruce.
public coffee?
Bruce
office?
Fenny was,
Yeah.
running for selectman, yeah. So the man from Affordable came over and I got his estimate. So we talked about cleaning 6 of the upholstered chairs, and some of them are really bad. He thinks he can make them, do a decent job, but, nothing's gonna be perfect again.
Right.
Our chairs in the community room, we have a lot of those that are just really badly soiled and
Yep.
really should be cleaned. So I estimated 15 of those that are really bad. And then we have the 4 area rugs that the babies play on. So for that, his estimate was the 410. So.
Well, it sounds like you're satisfied with the estimate that.
Yeah, he is the man, this is the company that comes over and shampoos the
Yeah.
carpets in the library,
Oh.
so they know the building.
Bruce
know
Fenny
Bruce,
is
yeah.
a terrific
Yeah,
guy. And with your approval and with his recommendation, I would have no hesitancy at all in following through, so
good.
I don't know how the rest of you feel.
No,
but
I feel the same. They do a great job on that.
I think
carpet.
that get it done, they certainly do need it,
They do,
Oh, they-
and
yeah, they
it's time to
really
do it.
yeah,
Spring
Thank you.
cleaning comes a little early.
so.
Good for you.
Okay, so then then I'll go ahead with that. And I did go over to the Lexington group to try and get more of the chairs that we had purchased last year. They don't have anything right now but the gentleman that we work with is contacting other companies that do the same thing, and he's hoping he can get us 18 chairs by June. We want they have to have the sled base, they have to slide, which is the problem with the chairs we have now. Not only are they old and falling apart, but they don't slide. It's very difficult for people getting up and down. So we definitely want to try and add to what we've already got, and so hopefully by June they'll be able to find us some more chairs. We finished purchasing the monitors, which we had put on our wish list last year, and all but 2 of them are all installed. And the next 2 things I have to work on, purchasing some new tables for the cafe area, and new chairs for the staff. We're definitely gonna see if we can look into upgrading some of the chairs for the staff. It's time. So the other thing is, I had Bruce Finney, asked him to come over one morning, and we did speak about the circulation desk, which is in need of some work. And he did see the carpeting in the circulation office, which is actually coming up off of the floor. It's ripply, and he said right off the bat that the carpeting in the circ office needs to go. It needs to be replaced. There's nothing you can do to make that any better. And he also said the circ desk is, it's too high. It's got issues. It's had issues for many years.
Since the beginning,
yeah.
Since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he suggested that we think about capital improvements to the library, and we could work with him, and it would be for the next fiscal year, but we would have to put
Sure.
up a proposal. We
could jointly sponsor it with the DPW folks.
Yep. Yep. That's
Well, first of all, that's the original carpeting that was put in when the library was
yeah.
Rebuilt over 10 years ago now. And it's really, if there's anyone in the library at all, there are people there using that carpet.
Yeah.
And so it's gotten tremendous use, and the value has been really
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
keep us posted.
Yeah, I don't
Something,
sense resistance to any of what you proposed.
No, neither do I.
You're doing a heck of a job on your checklist here with the wish list. I should turn over some of the
What I
stuff I
thought
gotta
was
do.
interesting of the West Springfield Library was much of their carpeting were not
Squares.
squares, they were rectangles. And so if something's spotted or really dirty, you can't get it clean, you just pull that piece up and put one there.
Yeah.
And it looked beautiful.
It did.
It didn't look pieced.
No, it didn't.
Well, we've been open for 10 or 11 years, and they've been open for 10 or 11 weeks.
Yeah.
So, see me in 10 years.
You're gonna have to pull up a lot of squares.
But, well,
I know.
the new, I mean, every year there's always something new
Something
on the market.
New and better.
Right.
New and improved, and
New
so,
and better,
yeah,
yeah.
so it's interesting.
But it was,
As my ex-wife told me, no, I'm teasing.
what?
I've only had one wife. I still have only one wife. It's a joke.
I knew it was,
God,
We
Charlie.
better record it for the
Jeez, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. I'd like to go back if I can and, before I get in more trouble, talk about the meeting that you folks attended, the library, the legislative breakfast, which is basically, which is held in West Springfield. And I just would share with you this communication that you may have seen from the Massachusetts Library's Board of Library Commissioners, and it's really a nice little, that's not even a fact sheet, it's sort of a, hey, have you noticed kind of a sheet, or a news sheet. But that 0.07% of the Massachusetts state budget that's allocated to libraries
Yeah.
is a very accurate number. And when we were in, you'll recall, when we were talking with the Appropriations Committee, the subject came up about how our appropriations, as all of the appropriations to libraries across the state, had been reduced, and it impacted us to the extent that our jeepers, I just drew a blank. The not the communications, but the computer related budget was going to be impacted. And we commented at that time that we still haven't even gotten close to where we were when, in a prior state administration, 2009, the library budget was reduced from 17.2 million statewide to 12.3 million, almost a $5 million
Yeah.
reduction against a $17 million start, where we ended up at 12.3 million. And the following year, it dropped further to 8.8 million. So we have never, ever caught up
No.
with
No.
that. And they the allocation was reduced even further. And that it has impacted our ability to respond to the electronic communications, electronic computer needs that we see as necessary to run the current library and the library of the future. When we presented this to our appropriations committee in East Long Meadow, they wisely said we will step up and allocate a modest, additional modest amount to support our local library, and we're thankful for that.
We are.
Right.
Yeah.
Very.
But those are real numbers, and that's why it's so important when we talk to our legislators to let them know how these actions on a very small budget item are impacting all of the library patrons, not just us, but all across the state. And of course, with our great interlibrary loan program, what affects Westfield or what affects Worcester affects us, because we do take advantage of getting material from their collections that they share with us, and we share with them. So it really is a very healthy kind of a budget spending item. The value to the community is tremendous.
But I think a legislator just looking at that just says, well, we don't really need that.
And that's why
They
it's
don't
so
really get
important
it.
that I think it was important that you folks
Yep.
participated and made our points. I commend you for that.
And we received statistics on that, you know,
Oh, you
as
did?
well.
We did,
Yeah, and.
You got anything else?
Well, I mean, basically, it's explaining here, it says, in 2014, residents borrowed 6.5 million items that their own libraries didn't have. used 7.9 million articles in media through research databases and ebook circulation, which is up 34%. You couldn't do it if we weren't connected
Well,
somehow, you know? So,
we've
you
been
know,
talking for the past couple of years about,
Sharing is
about-
very cost effective.
we've been
yes.
talking about ebooks, and you know what? That's the computer, that's the technology-related stuff, the line item of which has been cut.
yeah.
And here we are talking about incorporating on our own 14 Chromebooks, which is really, as you say, cutting edge and cutting edge technology. So it's very important to us. This funding is very important to us, and I would certainly agree with both of you.
Yeah, and if I'm hoping I'm reading from the correct line here. It's the budget line for library technology and resource sharing.
Yes, that's one.
Okay, it's saying for the 2016 budget, went down 52% from the highest point of funding we ever had.
And guess what? The cost of living didn't go down.
No.
Well,
But what happens is
That's
the,
right.
to see the increase, 34% increase up, yeah, you know, 52% decrease in the budget.
Doing more with less.
Something.
We're doing a lot with a lot less.
A lot less, yep.
That was all my point.
And we don't
it's a
want,
good point. It's
and we don't want them to
absolute-
say, good for you. We
It's
want
absolutely
them
the
to give
appropriate,
us the
it's the
resources we
absolute
need.
appropriate point, and that's why we are advocates. Arthur and I have been to meetings in
Yes,
the past
yeah,
a
which
couple
is
of
very
years,
good.
2 or 3 years anyway, where we've been reminded that we are the principal advocates for library services and for the continuation of a healthy library system in our communities.
Yes.
And
Very
I would
true.
encourage everyone to take that position with our legislatures for the very reasons that you just mentioned.
And the representatives stressed the point that it's individuals and people that contact them that really make
Make
a
the difference, yeah.
how their votes go.
Yeah.
Because everybody's asking for more money.
Yeah.
Did anybody here in this room do that
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
since the meeting?
yes.
Good, very nice.
I think it would be helpful, though, if we had a list of who to call.
I can
And-
send you an email that is actually very easy to, you can call, but we also got an email that
It
is
has a
already
script.
set up. It's like a script. You simply click a couple of links and fill in your name and off it goes.
Well, they recognize
Yeah.
common letters.
Yes.
But-
It's the
but did you say-
individual
This is coming
passion.
this is coming from, you know,
No, but an individual note from us.
oh, yeah, that.
That too.
With greater intensity.
If I remember a couple of months back, both of you went to a meeting and you said, Arthur, I believe it was you, and with.
Could have been Charlie.
And Charlie, but I think you mentioned that a phone call seems to carry more weight than some of these already
Yeah,
pre-written.
the pre-rented things
things.
are put aside.
Is what I
But if
thought.
somebody is calling, it gives them an idea of what to say if they're a little
Definitely.
shy about calling their
Definitely.
The
legislature.
thing about phone calls, first of all, people are not going to make a phone call unless they absolutely believe what they're saying.
Right,
Yeah.
So you have to treat that phone call very, very specially.
right.
It isn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to tear off a blank and send it in.
No, right.
That's different. However, if that's the only thing you're going to do and you feel that it's appropriate to send in a notification, send it in because they count them.
Yes.
They count them. It's counted activity and it does count for something. The phone calls are very, very effective.
Yes, they are.
Because, as I say, you have to, people like us have to feel with the time and every other thing that we have, time constraints and everything else we have asking us to everything else we have that requires our commitment. If we pick up the phone and make that call, or make a personal letter, as Art says, but we are committed to it.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's people saying, as the Massachusetts Library Board, or the Board of Library Commissioners says, make sure you contact the legislatures. If we didn't believe strongly in it, we wouldn't make the call.
Absolutely.
No one
That's
would. So they treat it very carefully. They're very, very sensitive to that.
And also, they understand that for every phone call they get, there are probably at least 10 others that haven't called. So it's not just that one call. They know that if they got 50 calls, there's probably, you can multiply that, by people who feel as strongly but just haven't called.
Well, I mean, when I call, it's my entire family.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, one times,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
and so forth, so anyway.
That's right.
You're tough. You're tough.
Yeah, I'm really tough.
Okay, well,
All right,
that's great.
moving
Sounds like, that's a good report.
Yep.
The other thing that I'd just like to close on this is the purchase of the Chromebooks, and I didn't mean to speak about them earlier, except we had discussed this in our last meeting, and I hope that you still, before you let those things out of your sight, let us look at one or
So
some.
they stay here.
No,
What?
I want to see them, I'd love to see them here in our meeting, so we
Oh,
could look at
so we
them.
could see them.
I want to,
I'd love to bring
I'm
them.
glad I mentioned it, because I didn't.
Would you each
I
like one?
probably, no, I don't want to take them out, I just want to see what they look like.
Absolutely.
I'd love to have
Charlie's
someone,
talking about a show and tell.
I'd love to have someone come in and explain them to me.
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell Chromebook? Is it 2 words or one, capital? No, I'm sorry. But that's my level of expertise. But I really think it's important that we see these things, and
Oh, absolutely.
that's the point I made last meeting.
Okay.
And I'm making it again this meeting.
Okay.
So if
I
we
won't
don't see them,
forget.
if I see these things out on the street in April, and I haven't seen it, I'm gonna be
Okay.
annoyed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
my goodness. Good trouble.
Really annoyed.
Wow.
Tells you
I'm quivering over here.
tells you how good my life is. No,
You're not
I
walking
know.
through life, you're gliding through life.
I'm teasing. It's
No, I'd be
it's all
happy to
fun,
bring it
it's all
in.
fun. This is from a
Yeah.
guy who can't reset his VCR, because they don't have VCRs
No,
anymore.
they
really don't.
Not really.
We've
Oh,
sort
they
of
do.
moved on from that. We don't have 8
How do you
tracks
get
CD
either.
How do
CD
you get the
players.
12 noon, the 12 o'clock to stop blinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, unplug it.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Works every time?
It works for me.
Okay.
Good, thank you.
Before we take a vote, maybe we can go to the numbers first and then take a vote on
Alright.
both.
Don't know, mine's a little bit out of order, I'm not sure which page you're all looking at, but, there's nothing that's unusual or, the only thing is, maybe on the salary page, there's some minuses in the available budget, and that is because I'm working with the town accountant, to move some people in, out of one category and into another, and then those funds have to be replenished. So right now, things are a little bit in flux, but there's there's obviously plenty of money. It's just that we're readjusting. We created a new line for the temporary people, the temps that we hire.
Okay.
That was on
Oh.
the suggestion of the town accountant. Just gives us a little more of a better picture of where we stand. So it does, right now, it looks a little funny, but, after the adjustments are made, everything will fall back
Okay.
into.
Well, we'll trust that, okay?
Yeah,
Well,
she's
okay.
we're gonna have to wait a little bit, she's on maternity leave,
Yeah.
but.
And what happens, I did notice that a couple pages were by somebody, I'm not familiar with the name.
Yeah, I saw that
Carol
too.
Gallietta?
Carol
That's-
Gallietta.
That's
Oh,
what it
Carol,
is.
yeah.
Is that our book?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
Carol's
That's the one that
the
takes stuff.
administrative assistant, and she
Right.
gets these reports for
Okay.
us the day before the trustees
Oh,
meeting.
okay, all right, I just.
So
yeah,
she's,
trying to put everything
she's
together.
sort of recapping, Carol is recapping the
Well, Carol.
extracts that Olga Bonus gives her?
No, well, Carol requests them from Olga.
Okay.
So
That's
that-
right.
that's- Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
these all come from Olga.
Any surprises from your perspective,
No.
Sharon?
No. We're trying to keep track of everything, and
Good, I don't see anything.
The funds are there for
the
the
funds
chairs.
are there.
I would make a motion that we accept the director's report dated March 16th, 2016, as submitted, and the extract of the town munis budget report prepared by Olga Bonus and consolidated by Carol Gallietta on March 14th, 2016, as submitted.
I'll second
Second.
that.
Further comment? In favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Good, then we can move on. 2, let's see, the library wish list you showed us.
Yeah,
Did
oh,
we
yeah,
do-
I'm sorry, that was sort of a.
Yeah, we did that.
Okay.
We did that.
Yeah,
New business, library director search. We had a subcommittee meeting in the last, starting here at about 5:30, where we looked at the submitted applications. We're pleased by them, and we have 5 or 6, I forget how many, whom we're ready to contact and start the application search. They need to know that there's the issue of the charter, and the person to whom they would ultimately report, if the charter passes, is quite different from what we have.
Yeah.
And that may change their perspective, may make them more willing to postpone interviews until they know. Well, we need to take action, and it's understood from our meeting only moments ago that we're going to notify all these people with our enthusiastic backing. I can tell you that the applications came from all over the world.
They did, they sure did.
yeah, yeah.
So that's where we are on the search, and I don't think we need to re-advertise or spread the word until we see what we have,
Mm.
and to see how the vote goes on April 12th. Comments? That's new business, it doesn't, it's informational, no actions required here. But I think the subcommittee techniques that we have in place seem to function very well and are within the standard limits of transparency that we want to keep. The trustee award.
Yeah, the date is May 5th at 7 o'clock. We have a student whose name I purposely didn't write down on here, so I wouldn't say it by mistake. But we do have a student that we have decided on. She has been, well, I don't even want to say it because
Yep.
it's supposed to be a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Okay.
I've ordered the book that,
Wonderful.
and I will have the certificate made up. That I do that every year anyway. So, and I've got checks from most of you. So I'll get that in the works. I think we're all set.
You're the best.
Sounds good.
I'm sure I'll get you a check.
Yep. Yep.
You haven't been there before. There's a lot of
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of awards.
awards.
Yeah. I remember awards nights for my own kids. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. And if this committee is changed by the charter change, we'll have to, we can't make any plans for the trustee award until we see the new committee function, I'm sure. But you're on the ballot.
No.
Her name is not on the ballot.
We're gonna do a write-in.
Oh, right.
And, I've talked.
Ginny is on the ballot.
Ginny
Ginny
is.
is on the ballot. And Diane and I have talked about it, and I also talked to Tom Florence. He has a sticker kit, he said,
Okay, great.
but he said just to see him.
Yeah.
If you give them to
that'll-
us.
So, you know, if anybody that you know who lives in East Long Meadow can just write my name in. So if you tell anybody you know, word of mouth works well too.
Good,
There'll be something,
In the
hopefully
hopefully in the
in
reminder.
the reminders.
good.
So-
Okay.
We may need to be more active than we've been so far, which is not active at all
I
on your
know.
behalf.
I know.
And I think we need to, if you get us a bunch, you know, we can
Yeah.
pass them out individually when,
I think it really is an individual process. And
Yes,
I think that you have a, based on your longtime association affiliation with the library, you have a number of people who would
Yeah,
identify your abilities, and you've also served very well on this committee in the recent past. But I don't know that we as a Board of Trustees would take a stand to endorse you. If you understand what I'm saying.
I definitely understand what you're saying, yeah.
So
No.
I think that you're in good, you're doing everything you want to become a candidate, a write-in candidate, and I think it'll work out fine.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. And just get the word out if you know people.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, thanks.
Library Friends News.
The Friends met on Monday, March 7th. Their regular monthly meeting. And just to give you an update as what has taken place was on the Saturday, February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. They had their annual chocolate sampling event, which was very successful, and it was in the room the community room next door from 1 to 3. A lot of foot traffic and a lot of people sampling and coming back for a second, maybe a third. So,
Who's counting?
but it was better attended than the year before, only because the year before, weather was the issue the year before. So it kind of brought back the feeling of, yes, let's do it again. Let's try it again. So, this year was going to be let's see whether or not we want to continue with this, or.
And you were pleased.
I was pleased.
Yeah.
We're going to keep that chocolate running in
That's
February. The indoor miniature golf fundraiser that did take place March 5th. It ran from 10 a.m. to 3. It was a good event. They said at the meeting that there was approximately 130
That's a lot of
golfers.
golfers.
Yeah, they made a little profit of over $600.
Oh, that's good.
And I thought that was excellent for the first time going
year,
out.
right.
There was also, that we learned, of course, after the fact, other things going on
I know.
in town.
Including the golf show.
There was a golf show going on. There was Spartanum at the high school going on.
yes.
There was the East Long Meadow Education Endowment Foundation. They have an annual dinner, dance, and auction type of thing going on. And I believe down at the Quadrangle there was a Dr. Seuss big. So there was a lot going on that day, and perhaps in the future we'll try to check those calendars a little bit more closely so that we're not conflicting with some of these big events. But I thought for the first time going out, my grandson loved getting in the elevator to go upstairs to golf upstairs too. So, anyways,
A lot of families?
a lot. It was great. It was
That's
really
great.
good. And I'll say this, patrons were wonderful.
Very nice, yeah.
Very understanding. And I will say that little Mikey golf ball did go straight a couple of times, and had some willing patrons that were willing to get his ball for him. But anyway, it worked out great.
Can I just say one thing? I just want to say thank you to Darcy Kane.
Oh, yes.
Again, she did an incredible job, and she worked so hard on this.
Yeah.
And we are so appreciative of all of her hard work.
Yeah.
So thank you, Darcy Kane.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see, as you, I think I talked at the last meeting about those Playaway launch pads. And my understanding is that they have come in, and Charlie's gonna wanna see those too.
Oh, yeah, show and
And he's-
tell.
Yeah.
So that's another item.
I'm not sure my brain can handle two new pieces of technological
Chromebooks and
equipment.
launch pads.
That would be wonderful. I'd love to see those two.
So anyway, so 18, they were able to purchase 18.
Oh,
I think they were thinking 13, and
These are for
thanks
the-
to those friends.
These are for the younger,
The
Younger
yes.
kids.
younger children.
Yeah.
Excellent friends.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep, so, I don't know if they still are, but at the time of the meeting, they were in tech
They're-
services.
Yeah, they're still in tech services, I think.
So, anyways.
Yep.
And then, I did, at the Friends meeting, mention our, legislative breakfast over
Oh,
in
you
West
did.
Springfield. And I also asked them to contact our,
Yeah,
state legislators.
That's a big boost.
You know,
If people did that.
and so forth. So, I just relayed the message that,
Super.
you received tonight to those, that were there that
Well,
evening.
that's,
And,
that's wonderful.
Yep.
I could tell that this was going to be a success, not just because of Sharon's involvement and Ginny Kinder's involvement from the children's side, but especially from your involvement, and we should not discount the enthusiasm of Darcy Kane.
Yeah, no.
I've never, man, I'll tell
Yeah.
you, the night that she was here telling us what was going on, I wanted to go out and get going. I wanted to go out and play. But she has enthusiasm, and I'm sure that everyone who's involved
She
appreciates
puts her heart and soul into everything. she
appreciates
does.
her
She
efforts.
really
So
does.
thank you, Darcy. I would echo Sharon's nice compliments.
yep. And if anyone wants to join the Friends too, so they can get the latest in the news and the newsletters and so forth. Right now, there's 368 members, but there's always room for more.
Oh, yeah.
So, just to give you that little update.
It's such a nice group.
It is,
It's
you
a
know?
fun group.
And what happens is you know, there's a lot of people behind the scenes. And, there's
They do
a
a
very
wonderful, wonderful job on behalf of
cohesive
the
group.
on behalf of the
They
library.
do.
Yep.
And
Yeah, you're very lucky.
So that's my big report.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Important dates. April 12th, will be a town election. And our next meeting here will probably follow that election.
Oh, okay.
It's customary to reform this committee. And we'll talk about that at that time, I guess. And the annual town meeting, May 16th, will take place regardless of the vote, I understand, on the charter.
refresh my memory, do we tentatively schedule our next meeting for April 13th, Wednesday, April 13th? Or could we
Sure.
schedule it for Wednesday? I don't have my,
Is that a preference, your,
Wednesday, well, David, oh, you know what, it's the 20th, I see, we
Well,
scheduled it for the 20th.
That was just a suggestion. I mean, unless somebody has an objection, we could do the 13th. I just
March,
have
today is March 16th,
right?
Yeah.
so
that would be, I like 1, 2, 3.
Three,
In 4 weeks
four.
would be the 3rd.
4 weeks would be the 13th.
Hmm.
I think I'm okay with either the 13th or the 20th. I just reacted to the 4-week rule,
Mhm.
but I would defer, but whatever you,
April
what's,
13th is fine.
what's the consensus?
I think the 13th would be good.
Yeah.
David, how's
Yeah,
your,
that's fine.
How's yours?
Is that-
you
yeah.
okay with
Yeah,
the 13th?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
right.
that's the
Are
day
you
after
sure?
the.
Yeah.
So,
the
next
day after
meeting,
the election?
April
The day after
13th,
the election.
April 13th.
Mm.
We're gonna have
So
a lot
there'll be
to
a-
talk about.
Yeah, there'll be a few
There'll
words
be
of
blood on the streets.
Great East Long Meadow riot.
Don't use the R word.
I know.
Next meeting, April 13th, at 6
6
PM.
o'clock.
Okay, good. And I'm gonna change my master schedule here.
Yeah.
No change. And somebody will have to tell Jenny.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way,
I
for,
too am gonna call her.
Yeah.
thank you for keeping us posted on all of the things without getting into any specifics. Thank you for keeping us
Yeah, it's
posted.
important medical stuff, so not get loose.
That's very important. So,
Yes.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, we're going to adjourn, but the committee meeting that is taking place up till 6 is going to continue for a short time. Is that everybody's understanding?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we have to do, is compose.
Okay, well, I move we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
We're out of here.
All right.